Hey, this is Pastor Eric here with your Lakeside Kids Minute, and this week I want to talk to you about grapes. Well, not exactly, but the story that we looked at in 1 Kings 21, it kind of involves grapes. But first, I have a question. Have you ever found yourself saying, I could kill for, and then fill in the blank? Maybe it was, I could kill for a juicy burger right now, or I could kill for that car, right? We might not literally mean that we would kill someone for it, but in this last week's story in Lakeside Kids, we realized and we saw that that was literally the case for somebody. You see, our story took place in 1 Kings 21, where King Ahab saw a man's vineyard. This man was an ordinary man. His name was Naboth. And he said, hey Naboth, give me your vineyard. Well, Naboth had inherited that vineyard from his family, who inherited it from their grandparents and their grandparents. So Naboth said no. This made King Ahab really upset and cranky and whiny. So when he went home, his wife, Queen Jezebel, asked, what's wrong? Well, when she found out what the problem was, she did what any caring and loving wife would do. She had Naboth killed. Okay, so maybe that's not what you would do, but that's what she did. So you would think that King Ahab would be excited and happy now to inherit or to get that vineyard. Well, we found out that when King Ahab was confronted that he was not happy, he was not content, he was miserable. And that led us to our bottom line for this week, which is when we focus on what we don't have, it can make us miserable. Miserable. That's a funny word, isn't it? In fact, when you take the first part of that word, what do you get? Miser. What's a miser? An old miser, right? It is someone who is really selfish and stingy and greedy. Yeah, sure, they might have a lot, but they're not willing to share it. And they're not happy, and they're not content. So this leads me to your family challenge this week. In fact, I've got two for you. First is the miser challenge. Sit down with your kids and think of as many old misers from movies and videos and TV shows, maybe even in real life, and then talk with your kids and ask them, why do you think these people are so cranky and so greedy even though they might have a lot? And then your second family challenge is called the 5-6 challenge. What's the 5-6 challenge? Well, let me explain. So each night I want your kids, and I think you should do this too, to sit down and write down 5 to 6 things that you are thankful and grateful for. You see, we know that when we focus on what we have, what God has given to us, that we tend to be happy and thankful and content. But when we focus on what we don't have, the opposite happens. So this week, every night, write down 5 to 6 things, and then at the end of the week, come together, sit down, and talk about what you had on the list. Doing this challenge, you will find that you are happy and joyful and much more content. Or at least that's what your kids will find, but I think you'll find it too. Let me tell you, this coming Sunday, you are not going to want your kids to miss the lesson. And your kids aren't going to want to miss it either. I'm Pastor Eric, this is your Lakeside Kids Minute, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Thanks. Now I think I'm going to go get a grape. I'm kind of hungry now. All right, bye.